Rather than go 10-1, I think we all kind of know what's going on at the top of the top 10. So let's just start there. Alabama is going to be my number 1 team. Georgia is going to be my number 2 team. And Ohio State is number 3. Now, Ohio State did change, okay? Georgia and Ohio State flipped for me. Let me explain why very quickly. It's not about the way that Ohio State played against Notre Dame. I actually think that the way that they won that game for Ryan Day is very important to them moving forward. Okay, Ohio State last year, we saw what they were when they were just going to go out and get into shootouts and let Jackson Smith and Jigba go for 15 catches and 300 yards. I think there's a ceiling on that style of football for Ohio State. Okay, the way that they beat Notre Dame was a team that could play defense, and then in particular late in that game, with a 7-minute drive that went 95 yards, they showed some toughness and the ability to run the ball when they had to. That's going to be important moving forward. So it's not about what they didn't do. It's more about the way Georgia looked against Oregon. So a little shift right there with 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's move on now, 4 through 10. I kept Clemson at number 4, even though I didn't love the way that they played in that first half. Clemson is a team that I think is going to have to get better, and I don't think that we should be I just don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Klubnik could be your quarterback moving forward, and he could steal that job from DJ Uiagalelei. Okay, so now 5 through 10, we're going to go Michigan at number 5. Remember, J.J. McCarthy is going to be starting this week against Hawaii. Texas A&M stays at 6, even though they did not look great. That was a weather interrupted game. We'll see how they do against App State this week. Now, 7 through 10, what do we got? OU jumps all the way in there. I was apprehensive to start the year with OU. And the reason I was is because there were so many new faces. You've got a new head coach. You've got a new quarterback that's a transfer. You had all the real core of their defense, even though it wasn't a great defense, the core of their defense graduated. They had a lot of transfers away from their offense. So I was a wait and see for Oklahoma. And I think that was warranted, and I still don't feel bad about it. But after seeing what they did in week 1, and more in particular, the way that they feel about their coach, this is a team that I think is a top 10 team, and I do think Oklahoma is still the class of the Big 12. That, for me, is the best team in the Big 12, and I think that they should win the conference this year. All right, now we go 8 through 10. SC is going to be at number 8. I loved what they did in week 1, showed some defense. I liked their matchup against Stanford, by the way. I think that they're going to cover that 9.5 that I saw. 9 and 10 for me is Notre Dame, and then the 10th ranked team, Baylor. They jump up. Dave Aranda, I still love what Baylor does. I love their matchup this week, by the way, against BYU. But that's what my top 10 looks like. I didn't knock Notre Dame too far down. I thought that they showed me a lot in that game against Ohio State, who I still think is an elite team. Folks, I think we have 3 elite teams in college football. We've got a few teams that if they iron out some kinks, I think could be there. And then from 7 on down to about 15, I think that we're going to have a lot of interchangeable parts. That's the sections of this rankings that I've got. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.